Hey everyone, Bruce from Bruce Videography Services. I am here to help you, the aspiring videographer, get your foot in the door. That's what this video is going to be about. So let's get into it. I use videography as a side hustle, and it started out as a hobby, and it's something I really enjoyed. And eventually I just started doing more work for people, and eventually I was getting paid, and the more I did, the more I would get paid, and started paying my cell phone bills, my grocery bills, and then even some months it paid my entire rent. I'm gonna teach you how to get your foot in the door, get paid jobs, and help develop into a better videographer, just based on my past experience. Not saying that I'm the best out there, I'm far from it. I have a lot to learn. I've only been doing it about 3-4 years. Maybe my experience will help you navigate your first year or two as a videographer and help get paid. So my first suggestion would be just pick up a camera. You have cell phones, you have GoPros, you have these little DJI gimbals that you can buy for like $200-300 bucks, and they're all amazing 4K quality, and you can make really good images with them. My only suggestion would be to just learn the standard practices of composing good shots, because that's what's important about picking up a camera and being a good camera person. Learn the rule of thirds. Rule of thirds is going to teach you most of what you need to know on how to compose a good shot. And you can just YouTube rule of thirds anywhere, and there's a bunch of great videos on them. That's how I learned. So I would just suggest learn the rule of thirds and learn how to compose good shots before anything. My second suggestion would be to pick up some decent editing software. There's even stuff you can do on your phone now that are free or very low cost, like $5, and you can learn that way. There's stuff for your laptop or your PC. I personally like to use Adobe Premiere. So once you start getting good compositions with your shots and you're learning how to make good cuts in your editor, it's just time to start putting that together. Make some cool videos in your backyard. That's where I started my backyard and moved to taking shots of my dog. Just doing that will make you better. I would suggest seeking out family and friends and see if they need your services. Do they have a band? Do they have a concert coming up? Does your family have a party or an engagement or a wedding coming up? Like, you don't have to be paid to do these things to get experience. I think that's the common misconception a lot of people starting out as a video creator have, is that they feel like they have to get paid off the bat. That's not true. I mean, a lot of video people don't get paid when they start out. It's important to do free work, actually, because that's how you learn. You know, a lot of people aren't going to pay somebody that's inexperienced, so it's very important just to put yourself out there and willing to put in that hard work at first so you can get that experience, learn, and get a feel of how to do the actual job and how to create good content. So my suggestion would be just put yourself out there, willing to do some free work, ask around, and network a little bit. Don't be afraid of hard work, and don't be afraid to work for free, but you know, don't let people push you down around either. That's important. For example, how I started, former coworker I had, he had a band, and he asked me one night when he found out I had a camera, he's like, hey, can you come down and shoot my band at our rehearsal space? And I'm like, you know what? No problem, I'll come down. It might sound fun anyway. A musician from another band come in, and he was gonna be like a feature on their upcoming track or whatever. He saw me taking video, and he's like, hey, can I take a look at your footage? And he really liked it. And I'm like, oh, thanks, it's awesome. And he's like, yeah, I really liked it, and I'd like you to come down to our show in a couple of weeks and shoot our band. I did it for free. I spent the whole day there. I shot a lot of good B-roll. I shot the entire concert, and I made like a whole hour-and-a-half concert film out of this thing. To this day, I'm actually still proud of it, because it was one of my first real edits, and it came out really good, and they were impressed with it. Putting that up online got me, it didn't get me a lot of attention, but it got me good attention. And what I mean by a good attention, it got me in contact with people who needed a videographer. So even though a lot of people didn't watch it, the people that I needed to watch it saw it. Even if you think a lot of people aren't gonna watch what you're putting out, sometimes just by putting it out, the right people will see it, and that will get you more work. Because that's how I got started, just by doing that free show. It put me in contact with people who were willing to pay me to shoot their shows, and that snowballed into doing other things like little parody comedies or skits, or like little Instagram commercials to promote like little products and shows, and you know, just promote profiles and stuff. Just doing like free stuff every once in a while, networking with the right people can get your foot in the door. It's very important just to be open to new experiences. My next suggestion would be when you're creating content for somebody who is hiring you, take direction. It's very important to take direction from a client. A lot of people or video creators, when they first start, they have an idea in their head about what a project should be, and that's not the right way to approach it. There's a reason they hired you. A lot of people have a vision or an idea in their head about what they want it to be. So even if you think it's wrong, you can suggest another way to do it, but if they are adamant about having it done their way, creatively, then you should stick to what they're telling you, because there's a reason behind that. It's very important as a up-and-coming video creator is to listen and give suggestion when needed. But when it's not needed, you have to put that ego in the back seat, be willing to just, follow direction. My next suggestion would be, if you're trying to get into YouTube stuff, short film things, or things where you're promoting products and there's a lot of like interview style things that you need to do, invest in a good microphone or multiple microphones. I have a few microphones. I have this Lav Mic here. It comes in a pack of 2. It's all wireless. It's great. I love it. $350 for the 2, and it comes with a wireless transmitter, so you can stay wireless, and it's pretty low profile, and it sounds great. I have a shotgun mic I use for short films. Sometimes I'll just borrow a pole, and I'll have the mic on the pole, and I'll just hold it up like this, attached to a recorder, and I'll sync it in post, and that sounds good too. And I have a little plug-in mic for my DSLR here. I'm not using it now because I have the Lav Mic, but it works very good when I'm shooting live stuff like concerts, weddings, or live events. Another thing worth investing in would be lighting equipment. Definitely a good investment. I have a APUTURE 300 Mark D shooting me from the front here, and I love it. I think it's a great light. It's very bright, and it's only like on a quarter power right now, and the output's amazing on it. It really evens out the skin tones, and I think I look pretty good in the monitor right now. Besides that, I have a LED light up there. It's bouncing off the back just to kind of separate my shoulders from the background, and it kind of makes your subject pop out a little bit more. I mean, you could just go online and just do your research, and you can get like a NEWEER lighting kit, which is like a pack of 3 LED lights with stands, and I mean, you could spend like $100, $150, and you got a full lighting kit, and you'll be able to do almost anything you might need to do with just that. So I just try to buy equipment that's gonna serve a purpose on almost every shoot. I'm not gonna buy equipment I'm gonna use once and never touch for like another year. It doesn't make sense. Try to use common sense when buying equipment. Just buy the things you know you need. Try to like life hack and MacGyver your way out of certain situations if you don't need it. So my next suggestion to you would be to create some social media accounts. Have somewhere to post your content from your shoots or personal stuff you shoot. I would say the most important thing about starting any social media account is to just have a niche. Just try to keep it related to what you're doing, because that's going to drive the right traffic to your social media profiles. The rule I learned is to keep your hashtags between 500,000 and 1.5 million in the hashtag count, because if you have hashtag camera guy and it has 23 million hashtags like taken already, you're less likely to get noticed with that. So you want to keep it within that magical number of like 500,000 to 1.5 million hashtags used, and just curate all your hashtags based on that number. And I think you'll get pretty good results. I was getting very good results with that for a while, Anyway, that's all I got for you right now. If you think I glazed over anything or I forgot something, drop a comment under the video and I'll reply back to you as soon as I can. If this helped you, motivated you, or you learned something from this, like and subscribe and help my channel out. I hope that this inspired you to pick up a camera, learn how to edit, or go seek out your own jobs and try to make some money on the side, because this is a very satisfying field. I love doing what I do, and I hope you'll feel the same learning how to do this. Thanks.